What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about when we will see Spider-Man Miles Morales' gameplay. Now, this is something that I think a lot of people have probably been asking for ever since that we saw Miles Morales be announced at the PS5 full reveal, the early June event, right? So we're going to be talking about that in this video. Really quickly, before I jump into that, I want to promote my second channel really fast, Podcast Now Plus. If you guys haven't already checked it out, the link for it will be in the description below. It's a channel much like this. I cover videos there. I cover things there that I can't always do over here. So if you guys like the content you see here, there's just more of it over there, okay? Again, the link for it will be in the description below. So this is the game that I think is going to sell a lot of PlayStation 5s, whether or not it's exclusively for the PS5. I think that does matter to some degree. I also think, though, that at the end of the day, people are going to get the PS5 specifically for Miles Morales. But when are we going to see gameplay? How much gameplay are we going to see? Well, honestly, the news for Miles Morales is probably going to come very fast and very furiously. If we're going to be going off of the movie Fast and Furious, it's going to come very quickly. I honestly do believe that, because this game ultimately is probably a game that launches in sometime in the very early/middle of November. Okay, same thing with, honestly, a lot of the games that say holiday 2020, whether they're console exclusives for one console versus the other. I think a lot of them will end up coming out in November. We know some games in November. We don't know all that much, but that's when I think it's going to actually happen. Now, again, we're in August right now. That's only 3 months away, probably a little less than 3 months, but maybe by the time the video goes up, right? So they don't have a lot of time. There's a lot of promotion that needs to get done. Yes, this is a game that's only 7 to 10 hours long, probably somewhere in that realm, but it's still a game that you want to show how the technology of the PS5 is going to influence it. You want to show characters. You want to show villains. You want to show what you're going to be able to do in this game. There is a lot to get done. So when will they do it? Well, you know, PlayStation has had, or Sony in general, has had quite an interesting summer, right? Very, very much waiting for Microsoft to go first. Now, the newest kind of rumors of PlayStation, which we all have kind of known as well, is that they want Xbox to make the first move. They want Microsoft to do it first. Now, it's been this way for months and months and months. We've heard this, that they want them to announce the release date first, that they want them to announce the price first. They want them to go first so they can follow them. Now, ultimately, I've always kind of been a little skeptical on that, not in terms of like believing if that's true, but I've always kind of been like, does it really matter all that much? Because at the end of the day, the only thing Sony could probably do is have the release date be sooner. If Microsoft comes out there and they say, okay, here's a release date, and then here's the price for the Series X and then also the Series S. Here's the prices. Sony, I think, at best, can beat the launch day, okay, when the console comes out, but probably can't beat the price. If Microsoft is willing to go as low as $400 and $300, I really don't see how Sony can go any lower or even match them. I really don't think Sony can do it. So why am I saying all this? Well, rumor has it that PlayStation, again, is waiting for Xbox to go first, and then Sony will have a full reveal event, again, either at the end of August or early September. Again, we've heard that late August thing a couple times. I believe it. I think that it's probably going to be sometime in September, though, because I think Microsoft will go late August. Honestly, it could even be kind of aligned with Gamescom. So what does that mean? Well, in September, Sony would announce the release date for PS5. They'd probably announce when pre-orders would become available. They would announce the price for PS5. But what else do you have to do? You have to show us your games. The rumor has it they have a lot of third-party games that they're holding on to, that they're waiting. They have they still have exclusive games as well. So they have things to announce, and a joy that they have too, same thing with Microsoft though, you could argue, is that they have the games they've already announced, right? There's very little stuff out there on the games that they've already announced, like Miles Morales, like Horizon, which again isn't a launch game, but they can maybe still do a little with that game. But Miles Morales, I think that's where it gets its gameplay. I feel like at the same day that Sony says, okay, here's the release date for the PS5, here's the price for the PS5. Oh, by the way, Miles Morales, this is the launch day game. Okay, this is the game for the PS5. This is your reason to buy it at launch, and so it's coming out the same day. That's when we get the release date, and honestly, I think we need gameplay at the exact same time. I think that would be the best time to say, okay, here's a little example of what the PS5 can do. We've seen examples. We've seen some games that are going to be on PS5 be played, right? We've seen Godfall. We've seen the game The Pathless, which is kind of like a Journey-esque kind of game. So we've seen some, but this is a newly acquired first-party studio, but this is a first-party studio. This is a studio that has their hands only on PlayStation. If there's going to be anybody that's going to get the most out of a console very early on, or when the console first launches, it's going to be first-party studios. Halo Infinite or 343, they should get the most out of the Xbox Series X. Okay, it's not going to be a developer like a Assassin's Creed or a Watch Dogs or a Cyberpunk. It's not going to be them because they are working on both consoles. They have to worry about optimization. They have to worry about getting it to work on the current gen, which it's launching first at. You know what I mean? So it's really the teams that are working on games only for next-gen consoles, specifically for one, okay? And I think that's, so again, like, why am I saying that? Well, it's important. It's important because you got to show off what the PS5 can do, and up to this point, we've heard a lot of talk, and it's not like I don't believe the talk. I mean, the talk of the PS5 sounds amazing, but it's time you show us, and it's time you show us with the big guns. I don't think anybody, again, is going to beat around the bush and say, like, oh, we're going to go based off of the game demos of Assassin's Creed Valhalla or the Pathless or these kind of games to figure out what the PS5 can do. No, we're waiting on what Miles Morales looks like. We're waiting on Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, right? We're waiting on those games, okay? Those are the games that are going to show us what the PS5 can do, even early on, and honestly, they're probably going to be very outdated within a couple years when the PS5, like, really, when developers can really kick into high gear. So I think very soon. My answer to the question in the title and the thumbnail is very soon. I think that, again, late August makes sense, but ultimately I feel like it'll probably be early September, again, because I think Microsoft is going to wait till very, very late in August to do their thing, and then Sony's going to have a couple weeks to kind of, gather up and figure out what they're doing. So I think sometime in early September, first couple weeks, they'll come out, they'll say, here's the release date, here's the price, here's when pre-orders go up, all that kind of stuff, and then they'll say, oh, also, we have quite a few, games to show you. Let's show you some brand new games we haven't shown you yet. Let's show you some third-party deals we have. Let's show you Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was one of the most, one of the biggest things we announced at our, our first reveal, right? Let's show you gameplay. I think that's probably the way to go. Will it be a lot of gameplay? No, and honestly, I don't want all that much. We know how Spider-Man functions. We know how that game worked. Now, this game does have a lot of things it needs to do, right? I talked about that with even with Evan, right, a few weeks ago. We know what Spider-Man needs to do. We know the things it needs to change, the things it needs to improve, the mistakes it cannot make. You do need to show us some of those things, but ultimately, it is going to be such a, I guess not necessarily such a small game, but a lot smaller than, I guess, even what we considered in Spider-Man, okay? This isn't the biggest game, imaginable. So to show us a massive amount of gameplay, I don't know, I personally don't really even care for it. I honestly don't really need that amount of stuff being shown on Spider-Man. Give me what the story is. Give me the villain, which we kind of already know what the story is. Give me who the villain is going to be, or villains. Give me, a couple other things. Let me see how he's going to function, like how his moves work, how he's going to move around. And after that, I mean, that's pretty much it. You only have, again, at the time they show it in September, let's say, you show it September 10th, okay? If the console comes out like November 10th, you only got 2 months anyway. So gameplay here, show us a trailer in October, one more trailer or developer diary or whatever in November, and you're good to go. Really not all that much that needs to be done, honestly, for this game. I see like a game, again, like Horizon being the game that they kind of put more into. Lots of trailers, lots of gameplay presentations showing you how the world's evolved, what kind of things have changed, how they're using the PS. I really feel like Horizon is that game. Spider-Man is that game too, but I honestly feel like in a lesser extent. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? When are you expecting gameplay for this game? When do you think it's going to release? Do you think it's going to be just on PS5? What are you expecting from it? All of those things, let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And like I said, also, if you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. The link for that will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.